I'm Dan Bunting. I'm the multiplayer game director for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 at Treyarch.
...2015 is a time of big changes for Call of Duty. For instance, there's a new deal. It used to be between Microsoft and Activision. Now it's PlayStation. What does that mean for the esports?
That's a really good question to ask. Right now we're still trying to just kind of react to the announcement. From a development side, it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference because it's more of a kind of a business thing for Activision and Sony. We've been partners with Microsoft, Sony for years. We've worked with them. We're excited to open up some new opportunities with Sony. From a development perspective, though, we're making the game for the fans, no matter what console, no matter if they're playing on the PC, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, whatever console it is. And the esports is still something that is to be decided, and we're going to hopefully talk about that not too long.
So nothing on the official championships is going to be playing with DualShock versus Xbox controller or anything like that?
Yeah, no announcements about esports yet, but hopefully soon to come.
Well, as I said, it's a big change. It's revolutionary. It's what you guys call it. I mean, we've heard that before, but this time I think it's actually true. Can you take us quickly through some of the big changes that the Call of Duty players are facing online?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get a chance to play it?
Not yet, actually.
Oh, well, you got to get your hands on it. So, one of the biggest changes I think that people saw right off the bat was we have a new movement system. And the movement system is really designed to give players more power, more control, more command over their interaction with the environment. We want them to feel like they can just, be an action hero, fluidly move through the environment, and focus most of their action on combat. You've got the slide, which is a really fun thing to do. You pull around the corner, keep your gun up. It's one of our core tenets of the movement system is we wanted to be guns up all the time, keep the players in the fight. Because there's so many things in the past, if you can remember, where the gun's been pulled away and it takes you out of the fight, kind of exposes you to a little bit too much in combat in a way that might be frustrating to players. So we wanted to remove all of those frustrations and make players feel like they could just fluidly move through the environment. The second part of it was omnidirectional control. So we want you to be able to move sideways, forward, backwards, whatever you want to do. If you're going over cover, you can mantle over cover to the left, to the right. You can go backwards, you can slide left, you can slide right. Everything is omnidirectional. So really just keeping players, giving them as much control as they can to stay in the fight as much as possible.
Do you feel like reality was keeping Call of Duty back before?
Yeah, that's a funny question. We did like going to the future because it gave us, opened up so many more opportunities for us to be creative with the gameplay and the innovations that we brought to the franchise. Black Ops 2, we went to the future. We had a little bit of, our campaign went back and forth between future and past. But for multiplayer, we stayed exclusively in the future on Black Ops 2. This time we just pushed it even further, give players even more kind of cool gimmicks, cool gadgets, cool weapons to use. The whole movement set is only possible by being in a future setting. So everything is, it really opens up a lot of doors for us, but we still try to keep it grounded as much as we can, make it feel like, the aesthetic still feels like it's a world that's familiar to players of Call of Duty. And most importantly, Black Ops 2 fans, we want them to feel like it's a natural evolution, like they can just come out of Black Ops 2 into Black Ops 3, and it feels like they just pick it up right off the bat.
Yeah, because that's also one of my, what I want to know is there's always that balance between evolution, revolution, and perhaps just playing on the strengths of Call of Duty. How do you strike that balance, like not innovate too much perhaps that you lose older fans, but also still keep the series fresh?
Years of practice. I mean, we've tried many different things throughout the years, and Treyarch, I think, has always had a little bit of a strain of just pushing the boundaries and going outside of our comfort zone a lot. And we've just figured out, we've learned how to do it the right way, where to kind of pick those moments to innovate and push, and where to keep it feeling very, very familiar and satisfying, and the thing that people know and love, So it's really just finding that delicate balance, and it comes through a lot of trial and error, a lot of practice.
You're not afraid to lose any old fans that might just think, dear, this is too much?
I don't think anybody who picks up the controller is going to feel that way. It's a lot of people have reactions based on they see some image on the internet, or they hear some word, or there's some kind of like internet meme that's going around. But if you actually look at the game, look at how it's played, pick up the controller, you're going to see that it is very familiar. Even though there's a lot of advanced movements that you can do, there's a lot of new weaponry that you can use. But it's all gonna come back to that core combat experience that people are familiar with and they know and love.
All right. One thing about single player in general story, it's in the future. It's a dark future as always. Will there ever be peace in the Call of Duty universe?
Well, if there's peace, then we're out of business, right? So there's got to be some kind of conflict somewhere. And with the Black Ops universe, it's been a lot of fun. We get to sort of explore and examine the sort of seedy underbelly of the military operations in the world. With black operations, and it's sort of Treyarch style to always go a little darker, a little grittier, a little edgier. We kind of live in the gray area between right and wrong, between good and bad, and this campaign is going to be no different than that.